Now I'm going to save and define the attributes. And we are going to be presented with the first feasibility check. Whenever you press the Save and Define Attributes button, the system checks, is what I've put into the completes with that incidence rate in the amount of days which I put into the field days in possible, and gives a general check indicator on GenPop. In this case, we can see here with the man and the green tick, 1,000 completes in 5 days with 80% on GenPop is without any problem possible in the UK. The next point we would cover is setting up targeting attributes. What are we actually looking for? In the UK, we get 3 quick tabs already for our attributes. And these are always the same for each single country, can differ from country to country. So for example, in gender, age, and region is being shown for the UK. In the US, we would, for example, see gender, age, and ethnicity as 3 quick tabs. These are the most used variables which are on each single country available. If I look for something else than those 3, I can simply go down here to the search bar and either click on it and use the drop down. We have everything categorized in here from demographics, over automotives, region, leisure. It's about 170 parameters currently available, and the amount of parameters being added to Samplify is growing. In case I don't want to look through this drop-down menu, what is available, I can also use the search function. You can either search by the parameter name or by a parameter answer. So in this case, if I, for example, look for something where Vodafone is included, a mobile phone provider in the UK, I simply type in Vodafone, and it will give me the parameters where Vodafone is an answer. In this case, we have personal mobile device brand or network provider or internet service provider. And clicking on the internet service provider, for example, scrolling down will show us, yes, Vodafone is in there. This is the tab which you're going to be provided on every single parameter you click on. It gives you at the very top 2 choices. Do I just want to include a filter? That means I don't care about the distribution of the answers which I've clicked on, or do I want to put an allocation in? The allocation allows you to put an allocation on the parameters which you set up, and you can decide either by percentages or by absolute completes how many percent of that answer do you want in total. Let's click here, for example, Vodafone, Tesco, Sky Broadband. Let's use BT and Clarinet and add it as a filter. We click Save, and this will be added to our target group. So now we're looking for 1,000 completes of people in the UK who have these as primary internet service provider. We can see here that this is an include, and BT, Clarinet, Sky Broadband, Tesco Broadband, and Vodafone. In case I decide I actually want to add something else, I can easily click on this little edit button here, and this allows me to add further. Press Save, and we can see the 2 which I've just edited were added to this one, and that was Aquis and a Beyonder from Telwest. In case I decide I do actually not want this as a filter, I do need this as an allocation, I can click on the edit as well and simply switch from a filter to an allocation. And here we can see we are now presented with an allocation for each single answer option. As we can see here as well, is we actually need to scroll through our whole bar to see everything. In order to make that easier, we have a little toggle view option here at the bottom where we can toggle on view selected only, and it would just show me the ones which I've selected and hides everything which I have not selected. That makes it easier to put an allocation on something where you have a long list of parameters in the answer options available. The allocation can be put in either via absolute numbers, or you can also use the percentages. In case you just want an even distribution, you can also just use the split evenly. That evenly spreads the amount of completes which you have selected, in this case 1,000, by all of the answer options which you have selected. And in case I save this now, I can see that our parameter is switching from a filter to an allocation parameter, where we also can see here each line and the completes which are associated with it. In case I do want to change any of those percentages, I can either click into the edit again and change it here, or I can directly also just click in here on the allocation blue highlighted bar and make the changes here. One thing you can see already here is that after each single answer, we have the group option. Group option means we can group together parameters. So in case I want to group together BT and Sky Broadband, because technically speaking, they're using the same infrastructure, I simply select group at BT, select the parameter I want to group it with, update it, and now I have those two grouped. After each time you group, all the allocations which you have set up will be automatically erased and you will need to set them up again. That's why it might be easier rather than using the press on and to group, but to use the actual edit functionality and group via here. Here again, we select group BT and click to B Sky B, update, and now have it updated. Press the split equally button again and have an even spread over everything. Saving this now will show us that BT and Sky Broadband or B Sky B is now put together and everything is on 167 completes. Let's set up a couple more parameters. For example, let's use gender out of the quick option. Simply click on here. I can use select all, have male and female, put them as an allocation, split even, save. Next thing I set up is age. I also want age as an allocation and I want a good split. I start with 16, go to 24, add another one, 25, 34, and 35 to 50, and another one which we just put as 51 to 100. Here again, we have 4. I just split it even because I just want a good spread. 25% of each seems to be nice to me. Press save. Now we've added gender, primary internet service provider, and we added age. In case I do want to interlock any of these quotas, because I usually don't like the fact that females and males are in a row quota together with age. I rather make sure that I have a good even distribution of each of those age brackets for the gender. I can simply press the nest button on one of the quota lines, select what I want to cross it with. In this case, I use gender, update, and I'll see now I have it interlocked. By default, it will always even it out. If you want to do any adjustments to the allocation of the interlock quotas, you can simply click here and, for example, edit this to 140 and press save. Oh, we can see we cannot save this yet because we still need to remove 15 completes. There's an internal check, and that works for every single allocation, where you always need to end up at 100% of the sample size. If you're below or above, it won't let you save, and hovering over the save button will always tell you how much do you still need to add or how much do you need to take off. In this case, we need to take off 15 completes at 1. So let's just take 15 off here. And we can see now we're at 100% and we have a blue save button again. Once this is saved, we have this set up now with interlocked age and gender quotas and the primary internet service provider. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and we hope you found this video series helpful. Please reach out to us in case of any questions, and be sure to ask Dynata for end-to-end help with your research and audience needs.